Dominic, I'm Dave, this is Chris.
Park Ranger Dominic Bravo meets us to explain the history and operation of these unusual landmarks.
Are huge.
Yes.
Tell us about
They're
this.
beautiful. These are the historic Ward charcoal ovens. They were built in 1875. Basically, they were made by Italian masonries called carbonari.
And they see little holes at the bottom.
These are vents. That's the only vents they had in these ovens. The doors, there's two doors. When we go inside, you'll see the two doors. They were all sealed up with metal. And then the tops were sealed before. What you see right now, they're all open. But before then, all the ovens was enclosed, except for the 3 rows of vents at the bottom.
I see.
And I know it sounds silly, but so the basic purpose of the ovens was charcoal?
Yeah, charcoal. The mining town of Ward is 2 miles to the north. The reason these are built here is because there's a water source here. There was no coal or coke, what they call, in this area till the railroads came in. So they needed a way to smelt the silver ore from the rock. And charcoal was their best bet. You can't really burn it because wood only has about 2 to 3% carbon. When you're burning it, it turns to ash. When you make charcoal out of the wood, you have 98% carbon. Burns hotter, it's more efficient, and then they would bushel it up. And that's how they take it over to the smelters.
Wow, look at this.
Oh, very cool.
Notice this window shape. That's where people used to work?
Basically what it was another door. Here you have the first door. What they would do is they'd cut the wood out there, dry it, and then they'd bring it in here. They cut it in 6-foot lengths about the way I'm standing and stack it like I am standing, just straight up.
Straight up.
And once they had that, they had a floor. Then they used the scaffolding outside, and that burned down in 1878, basically when the mines had closed. They'd stack the wood again in 6-foot lengths. And then after they'd started on fire in the middle, they'd shut off the doors, they cement those in with metal doors, cement that, and the top never had a covering. It was always enclosed. So that was man-made. People took that off before it became a park. And then the only thing that controlled the oxygen flow were these rows of vents down here. They usually used the 2 rows at the bottom, and that basically was what started the process. And then the top row is what they kind of finished the process off with.
What does it look like after you have burned the wood for 13 days and it started up standing straight up? Does it look like tall strips of charcoal?
Well, actually what's shocking is the way it reduces. It's almost in the same shape, and they could just basically break it off and crumble it into the little almost briquettes like you would cook barbecuing.
Really?
So they're almost like, and then they'd bush them up into bags. And actually I have a couple pieces over here that I could show you. I started them off in 3 phases this morning. And basically what I have here is this is a fresh cut piece of wood. So it's just a section that was cut this morning, and that's basically what they would do. But obviously these would be at 6-foot lengths. This is about the midpoint, so it's the next piece of wood right next to it. And as you can see, as I took it off of the paint can that I used to simulate the ovens, it got oxygen, so that's where it started turning to ash. But you can see as it started reducing how it started getting a little lighter.
Right, it looks more.
Yeah, and the more of a charcoal color. So it's not reducing to ash, but you can see how it's still holding a structure. And this is just the sliver right above that, just a small sliver, and it reduced all the gas. You can feel the lightness of it. And I mean, it breaks into pieces there.
Oh, so part of the reason it took 13 days was how big the wood was.
Is how big the wood was to reduce that much of it.
What is the status of these? I mean, are they in danger?
They're not heavily in danger. We do have a stabilization project going on. Basically, we're just losing a certain amount of rocks each year. We have the wind that you see that's blowing this way. It hits them at the direction on the backside. You'll see a couple of our rocks that we've been losing. The project's going on this summer, so we can get them before the winter comes in. So we are stabilizing them, and we're still going to keep the historic. We've worked with the SHPO and a lot of different people, including Oregon and stuff, to get them just right so they're point stabilized but not mess with any historic value that they have. We just want people to come and use the park. And come and enjoy it. It's one of Nevada's probably greatest kept secrets for the mining industry and just history of Nevada itself. 1875, they're still standing, and they're really just off the beaten path. They're on your way to